on there. What's up, Bama Nation? What's up? Had to get myself unmuted there. What's up, Bama Nation? It's yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, rocking and rolling here with you in my own words. Hottest show in these streets. Talking your Bama football news, notes, information here. I know. We'll be back in studio soon, people, okay? Tomorrow, Friday, we got the game preview. So we'll be back taking your phone calls here on Friday after the game preview on In My Own Words. But like you always do, we appreciate you guys rocking with us no matter where we are, whether we're in the studio, whether we're at the home location, as I am right here. You guys go crazy in the comment section. We're getting to your comments this evening, taking off your comments. Definitely, we want you guys to give us a thumbs up, liking the show, hitting that like button, smashing the like button, raising up those like levels right there, hitting that subscribe button as well, so that way you miss nothing when it comes down to your favorite Alabama football content. The daily super chat go $100. Daily super chat go $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. We got a lot to get to. Bama takes on South Florida Saturday in Bryant-Denny, in Tuscaloosa. The dedication of Saban Field. It's all happening this weekend on Saturday. And after a lackluster performance last year by Alabama, though it got a 17-3 win, this team is more so focused on being more dynamic. Slapping up South Florida. Being more dynamic this time around against the Bulls. So it'll be a very good matchup here. We're going to get into those keys to victory for Alabama against South Florida. But we get some comments. My man, Jeremy Matthews. Roll Tide, everyone. Roll Tide to you, Jeremy. Happy to have you in here checking out the show. Then my guy, Jeremiah Walker, 2 steps in here with the Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Jeremiah. We got Sweet Home Bama, 24 with a yes. Roll Tide to you, Sweet Home Bama. Middle one, 205. My guy, Lakeith Williams. Roll Tide, roll, you guys. Happy to have you here, Lakeith. Lakeith comes back with, we have a trap game this weekend. I wouldn't call South Florida a trap game. Now, you got to take them seriously. You do. You got to take them seriously, especially after what happened last year. But I still would not go as far as a trap game. However, it is a team that you got to knock all the way down. So, absolutely. We got Billy 7676. Billy, what's up, Roll Tide and this thing? Billy is in here. We got Damon Davis, Bama Nation. What's good? Damon in here. Happy to have you here, Damon. We got Mo Holly. I went to Alumni Hall last week before the game because of this podcast. Roll Tide. Hey, going back there, Mo, to Alumni Hall. Get you some more of them keychains, bro. Get you some more of them keychains, those hats, the gear. Get it all right there at Alumni Hall, most definitely. Damon Davis writes back in, I feel for USF. Remember, Milroe was benched last year, and I know he wants some get back. Absolutely. Milroe got benched last year, didn't play in the game, will be playing in this matchup right here. I got my guy, Yah Warrior, with the Roll Tide roll. Appreciate you, Yah, being in here. We got my man, Jeremy Matthews, with that $4.99. Dropping the money there in the bucket in the super chats. Appreciate that from Jeremy. We got here Jeremiah Walker. Looking at Georgia's offense, this defense is going to get a lot of push. The Georgia game is going to be interesting, but right now, Jeremiah, we taking this one step at a time. Starting off South Florida this weekend at Bryant-Denny. But Jeremiah, I love the confidence there. Damon Davis writes back in, Bama 42, South Florida 10. So after shutting out Western Kentucky, Damon Davis has the Crimson Tide giving up 10, a touchdown and a field goal to South Florida. Christian Hughes writes in, Roll Tide, Stephen M. Roll Tide to you, Christian. Happy to have you in here. PJ Steins in here. Let's do this. Roll Tide. How about your PJ being in here? We got Duval Sanders, Bama Nation, Roll Tide, roll, Saban Field. Has a nice ring to it. Got to pay respect to the GOAT, man. You do. You got Saban Field, the dedication Saturday. There's supposed to be a lot of people in Tuscaloosa for this. Supposed to be a lot of people in Tuscaloosa for this. So hopefully everybody comes out supporting Saban and the family. Saban Field, the dedication. Brian Wells writes in, Road Tide from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Brian in T-Town. Taking all of this in. My man David Davis writes back in, Saban Field won't allow us to lay an egg. Saban Field won't allow Bama to do that. I would like for Bama to get a second straight shutout. And doing it at Saban Field, to have that second straight shutout, that's what I would love to see. My man DP! Don Parker, let's go! With a good evening, everyone. Roll Tide, appreciate you, Don. Appreciate you, Don. So, absolutely. Absolutely. We got my guy, Robbie Oots for Heisman. South Florida beat Syracuse 45-0 last year. USF has talent. They do have talent. A lot of talent. Byron Brown at quarterback leads that talent. But appreciate all of you guys calling in here. We got Twin 88 Cafe Boy from Enterprise in here. We got my man Eric giving us a Roll Tide. He is in here. We got Jeremy Matthews keeping that momentum going, is in here. Sweet Home Bama, 24 of those keychains. But we're getting it right now. Topic number one of tonight's conversation. And so topic number one is geared toward the keys to success here for the Crimson Tide against South Florida. So as we look at the keys to victory or the keys to success here, number one for me, straight out of the gate here, Bama offense and Bama defense got to get off to a fast start, right? Last year against South Florida, Bama did not get off to a fast start. Rain, monsoon, bad camera angle, Tyler Buckner out there running for his life, not prepared for the moment whatsoever. You did not get off to a fast start offensively against South Florida. And against Western Kentucky last week, Alabama did not score on its first offensive possession of the game. So Bama offense got to get off to a fast start. Got to hit them quick. Got to be clicking quick. Got to get off here fresh, clean, fast start early in the football game. Defensively, same thing. Got to get off to a fast start defensively. Sacking the quarterback, stopping the run, creating turnovers, putting South Florida behind the down and distance early, because we all know South Florida is going to want to go tempo. They're going to want to speed things up, go tempo at Byron Brown, run a whole bunch of plays. And for Alabama, if you get South Florida behind the down and distance, they can't run that tempo. If you get South Florida behind the down and distance, what they want to do, they got to play with one hand now tied behind their back, because they're going to want to go fast. But when they're behind the down and distance, when you talk about 2nd and 10, 3rd and 10, and longer than 10, that takes away from the tempo, right? So Alabama offense, got to have a fast start. Alabama defense, got to have a fast start. That's number one. Number two, Alabama's got to establish the run game. Last week, when Alabama got going against Western Kentucky, running the football, we saw success, right? The Crimson Tide over 300 yards rushing, 6 rushing touchdowns. When you're able to run the football, it gets everybody settled in. And for this offensive line, got to impose its will up front, getting that run game going early, allowing your offense to be in 2nd and short and 3rd and short, to where more of your playbook is available to you. For South Florida, their defensive secondary is pretty good. Their defensive line is where they have problems at times. They can be susceptible to the run game. So if you're Alabama in this matchup, line up, power on power, run the football. This is the reason why we saw Wilkin Formby have a lot of success last week against the Hilltoppers, securing that spot there at the right tackle position. A lot of the big chunk yardage plays that we saw from Justice Haynes and Jam Miller, they all came off the right side of the offensive line where Wilkin Formby was. So establishing the run game, key for Alabama. That's number 2. Number 3 for me, Jalen Milroe's got to have him a huge showing passing the football, right? Didn't play in the game last year. Last year, Alabama was unsure of itself at quarterback, and I still, to this day, don't understand why they just threw Tyler Buckner out there, but they threw Tyler Buckner out there. It is what it is. Jalen Milroe didn't play in the game last year. You are more so sure of yourself at quarterback now. If you're Alabama with Milroe, you have a way better offensive coaching staff around him. This young man is playing with a ton of confidence. And after attempting just 9 passes last week against the Hilltoppers, I expect more passes from Milroe. I expect to see more of him going through his progressions, going through his reads, going through the situations out there on the field, making the right throws, the right passes, putting the ball accurately where it needs to be at in the short to intermediate game, as well as the deep ball. So I do see a marquee passing outcome from Milroe as a key to success to number 3. Number 4, got to see more receiving options get involved, right? I mean, Ryan Williams, Hollywood did his thing. 2 catches, a $139, 2 touchdowns, big ups to him. But definitely want to see more Kobe Prentice, more Jeremy Bernard. Jeremy only had 1 catch against the Hilltoppers. More Kendrick Law. Law had a touchdown catch, but more Kendrick Law. Definitely more Caleb Odom. He had 2 catches in the first game. More Emmanuel Henderson, working more Cole Adams, working more Rico Scott, working the tight ends more. We saw C.J. Dupree and Josh Cuevas, the transfer from Washington. They each had 1 reception apiece, but more receiving options get into the flow of this passing game. That's what I want to see. It's great, the debut of Ryan Williams. That was phenomenal, right? But I want to see more of these offensive weapons involved here in the passing game. That's number 4 for me. Number 5, cut down penalties, bad snaps. Cut that out. Less penalties. Bama had 7 penalties against Western Kentucky. I think it had quite a few last year against South Florida. Cut down those penalties. Cannot have that. Cannot have false starts. Cannot have delay of game. Cannot have, those mental lapse penalties. You can't have those. Can't have them. And then the bad snaps, snapping the ball properly. Now, I go back to last week. Parker Brailsford, only 1 bad snap. He corrected himself, got on himself, was ticked off at himself because he takes pride in snapping the ball properly. So I think Parker will get that thing right. Rock Montgomery, coaching staff got to continue to work with him. Why? He's been cross-trained throughout fall camp at center and guard. So you got to cut down the penalties. No bad snaps this week. And then last but not least, that swarm defense creating more negative plays and takeaways, right? You had 1 sack against the Hilltoppers. Big Q Rob got that. Got to have more sacks. Got to get to Byron Brown. Got to put him on the ground. And then you got to have more turnovers. Kane Womack talked about it. Bama did not play to the standard against Western Kentucky in terms of creating those turnovers, taking the ball away, getting those takeaways, and setting up your offense with the short field and even scoring off of those takeaways. So it'll be very pivotal here to see this defense not only swarm to the football, finish tackles, but sacking the quarterback and getting those takeaways. But those will just be my keys to success here for Alabama against South Florida when you look at number 1, offense and defense for Bama getting off to a fast start. Number 2, establishing the run game for the Bama offense. Number 3, Jalen Milroe, got to have a huge passing game showing from you. Number 4, where this offense is concerned, Nick Sheridan as offensive coordinator want to see more receiving options get involved out there. Number 5, no penalty, cut down the penalties, no bad snaps. Then number 6, that swarm defense, getting after everything, sacking the quarterback, wrecking shop in the backfield, but also creating those takeaways. But we're going to take our first break here on the show. I'm going to touch that dial. When we get back, we go to the comment section to get your comments, your thoughts, your conversations. We want to hear from all of you guys in the comment section. But right now, we're going to word from our guys at Alumni Hall. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that band without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall. Oh yeah, baby, Alumni Hall. You know what it is. We're back to the action from the break here. Appreciate those guys. Tuscaloosa at Midtown Village in T-Town. Got the keychains, got the gear, got everything. Appreciate all those guys at Alumni Hall. But we're back in here to the action from the break. Hottest show in the streets. Talking your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Bama, South Florida, Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time kickoff. ESPN has the call. Saban Field dedication happening this weekend. A whole lot of exciting things. We get back to the comment section. We got Damon Davis writes in, but we have a stable of wide receivers. Remember that. Oh, and Milroe. Yeah, you got to be able to run the football with Milroe and Milroe's passing game. But like you mentioned, Damon, stable of wide receivers. That's what I'm saying. And the keys to victory, if you're Nick Sheridan, you got to get all of those receivers involved. You got to work them all in there. I know we're all tickled pink about what happened in the season opener with Ryan Williams, as we should be, right? But Kendrick Law's a dog. Kobe Prince is a dog. Jeremy Bernard can ball. You got Rico Scott. You got Emmanuel Henderson. You got Cole Adams. You got Caleb Odom. You got to get these options to football. You got to work them in, as well as the tight end position as well. C.J. Dupree, Josh Cuevas, Danny Lewis Jr., Robbie Oots. You have to work in more receiving options, and I know Nick Sheridan is going to do that. Mike G writes in, Saban Field at Bryant-Denny. SBD, we solid but deadly. Hey, Mike G, they ready now. Now, I heard we could have 1.5 million people in Tuscaloosa this weekend for the Saban Field dedication. I'm not saying inside the stadium. I'm just saying within the city, I'm being told, possibility, 1.5 million people could be in there, in Tuscaloosa, in T-Town, for the Saban Field dedication. Unbelievable. Sweet Home Bama 24 writes in, Steven, is Tyler Booker replacing Pritchett at left tackle for the USF game? Well, Sweet Home Bama, good question. A photo was released on social media from Alabama's practice. Tyler Booker was sighted. He was seen at left tackle. Geno Vandermark, the transfer from Michigan State, was seen at left guard. Now, Booker's got experience as a tackle. Played tackle all throughout high school. He's gotten tackle reps throughout his career at Alabama, especially in practice. Coach Chris Kaplovich, offensive line coach, mentioned today, Booker can play everywhere, anywhere on the offensive line. He got tackle reps throughout the offseason. So if Booker is needed to play tackle, he will be right there. If he's needed to play, he will be right there. Keep your eyes on that, because going back to keys to victory here, you look at the offensive line, establishing this run game, also protect the Milrow. If Caden Proctor can't go, dealing with a shoulder, nothing serious though, but according to Kalen DeBoer at the SEC coaches teleconference today, not sure just yet if Proctor will go against South Florida. If he doesn't, don't be surprised if you see Tyler Booker at left tackle and Geno Vandermark at left guard. And that's if the coaching staff does not go with Pritchett at left tackle, although the coaching staff seemed to be pretty pleased with what Pritchett was able to do against Western Kentucky. We got Damon Davis writes in, I can see Kane Womack chewing out the defense, and they will hear him, period. Look, Womack liked the shutout. He liked the shutout. But I'm going to tell you this. He wants more turnovers. He wants more turnovers. That's the big thing for Kane Womack. He appreciated the shutout. He enjoyed the shutout. The shutout was good. It was fun. But he wants more turnovers. He wants more dominant play. He wants more negative plays created here by the defense. So he set the expectation. And if he sees the expectation isn't met, he's going to let you hear about it. Going back to keys to victory. He wants that defense swarming, creating negative plays, but taking the ball away. Let's see here. Jarvis S. writes in, USF did not face us with Milrow at quarterback. That's the big thing there, Jarvis. South Florida did not face Alabama last year with Milrow at quarterback. It faced Bama with Tyler Buckner at quarterback until late. That's when Ty Simpson came in. This time around, you're more so assured of yourself at quarterback with Milrow, better offensive coaching staff around him. This should be a big-time game for him. Damon Davis writes in, the way you stop tempo on them, first down with the negative play. That's the big thing, Damon. Creating negative plays in the backfield to where they can't go tempo. They can't do it. It's going to be negative plays in the backfield. Don Parker writes in, I started that Alabama did not play to the standard. They are supposed to be Western Kentucky 63-0. However, championships teams do the basic things at an exceptionally high level. Saturday, we did not see that consistently. Alabama did not do that consistently, Don. You are correct. We saw a bad snap, one from Parker. He'll clean that up. Couple of bad snaps there from Rock Montgomery. Coaching staff has already addressed him. You didn't score on your first offensive possession. You definitely want to have that. So you did not see that you didn't see that elite approach there game one. However, this puts you at a situation where you can improve. You can get better. You can take a step forward there. And I think, Don, this Alabama team is going to take that next step. Coach Warren writes in, the DBs are going to be tested. So Coach Warren feels like with Byron Brown at quarterback for South Florida, the DBs will be tested. That's going to be interesting right there. We got Damon Davis writes in, Steven, we will need pass rushers in this game, period. Pressure the quarterback, no cap. Key to victory, y'all. That final key, getting pressure. Kane Womack won't see this group get pressure, sack, fumbles, batted balls, interceptions. Do everything you can to frustrate every part of South Florida to where they can't function out there. Frustrate every part of them to where they can't function out there. Smoking Bud writes in, Roll Tide. Roll Tide to you, Smoking Bud, absolutely. Mike G writes in, establish a run game or throw it downfield on first and second down, which is really better nowadays. Well, let's see here. When you've got explosive players on offense, Mike G, and you're able to get those big plays, it's kind of hard to go against throwing it downfield, especially when you can score. But Coach DeBoer also wants that balance on offense where you get those long, sustained drives, those 8, 10, 12 play drives where you can take the clock wear down the opposing defense, demoralize the opposing defense. That's what, he would like to do and what he wants to do. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, establishing a run game's big. Throwing it downfield on first and second down is big. But which one works better nowadays? I think it all comes down to how much you're able to control the tempo and the flow of the game, right? And that goes back to the first key to victory, getting that early start. Alabama's offense did not score on its first offensive possession against Western Kentucky. Alabama's offense struggled getting off to a fast start there against South Florida last year. But this time around, you got your quarterback in Jalen Milroe. This time around, you can get off to that fast start here against South Florida. Damon Davis writes in, my homeboy number 2 will get his again. We're talking about Ryan Hollywood Williams getting back out there, doing his thing for a second straight week. Melisha Mayo writes in, hi, Stephen Smith, my baby, and Russo is on fire. The boys from Montgomery, James Smith and Quay Russo, Melisha, they've taken off. They've taken off. And people have been waiting for both of them. We knew how talented they were, the two bullies, Carver High School and Montgomery. We knew how talented they were. We knew how physically gifted they were. And when they signed the Crimson Tide in 2023, everybody went bananas because Bama Nation was just happy to get both of them. And they didn't play much at all last year. Kane Womack developing both of these two. We saw him game 1. Quay got the start at Wolfbacker. 4 tackles, one of those for loss, quarterback hurry. He was everywhere. James Smith had 2 to 3 pass breakups. He was disruptive. They are both taking off now, and it's a sight to see. Coach Warren's in here. The offensive line going to continue to come in continually. The offensive line is going to continue to come in continuity now that they've gotten solidification now. The stars have been identified. The offensive line is going to get more continuity, Coach Warren. You are correct there. When you look at, you got your starters. They're already in pocket here. I know Caden Proctor, good chance, may not go against South Florida. But even if you have to go, Tyler Booker left tackle, Geno Vandermark left guard, that's still really darn good, even if you have to go that route. So I think the offensive line will come into its own as we continue to play more games. Those guys get more reps there. They'll continue to get that continuity there. Sweet home Bama 24 goes jam, oh jam. It's Miller time. Jam, 39-yard touchdown run. Had a big game 1. Ready to be even bigger Saturday against South Florida. Going back to that run game there. Key to success. Justice Haynes also had an 85-yard touchdown run. His first 100-yard game of his Alabama career happened last weekend. 4 carries, 102 yards, and a touchdown there. So Jam Miller, yes. Justice Haynes, yes, as well. We continue with your comments here. Don Parker writes in, however, the champions do little things. They do the basic functional things at an exceptionally high level. Game 1 is no excuse for missed snaps, missed blocks, missed tackles. You got to be on your A game. And that's what Don wants. He wants Alabama on its A game. And I can't blame Don because when you came up in Paul Bear Bryant, everything done right, everything done correctly. And then Gene Stallings, everything done right, everything done correctly. And then your defensive coordinators under Nick Saban, your first 2, Kirby Smart, Jeremy Pruitt, everything done right, everything done correctly. You got to have that same sort of mentality here. And yes, game 1, you had some guys knocking some rust off. You had some nervous jitters there. But I think this week right here, you'll start to see more of guys getting things in line. Mike G writes in, Buckner is a lacrosse player. Reese wanted as our quarterback. Yeah, Buckner's a lacrosse player, and he's back to playing his sport. He's back out there in lacrosse for Notre Dame. Not a quarterback, but lacrosse, that's his area right there. Erica B. Airbrush Designers in here. Roll Tide, let's go. Happy to have you in here, Erica B. Fantastic having you in here. We got Munchie Clark writes in, number one law goes off this week. Had a touchdown reception game one. I want to see more of law being used in this offense. So, Nick Sheridan, you can hear me. More of law being used. Don Parker, the O-line is still an issue. Proctor not playing is not an excuse for not carrying out proper execution. I mean, hey, Elijah Pritchett has played snaps at left tackle throughout fall camp. So Pritchett knows he's got to be better. And if it's not Pritchett out there at left tackle, if it's Tyler Booker at left tackle, Tyler Booker as a veteran, he knows I got to be on my A game. So offensive line got to bring it this week. Munchie Clark writes back in, number two, defense gets a touchdown. So, hey, defense is going to get a touchdown. So Clark's got defense getting a touchdown this week. Pick six or fumble return for a touchdown, Clark. Pick six or fumble return for a touchdown. Got to get that right there. Damon Davis writes in, we beat South Florida 17-3 last year. I can see our offensive production going up. Yes. Offensively, this is not the same team that came into the game this past season against South Florida. I expect better production. I expect a better performance. I expect cleaner game here. Jeremiah Walker writes in, CJ is going to have a big game and E-Man. Got to get CJ Dupree involved. Got to get E-Man involved. Both guys only had one catch last week. Got to get both of those guys involved. Damon Davis, turnovers, period. That's Kane Womack. Getting those takeaways. Very important. The Crimson Tide gets those takeaways. J-Dub writes in, after last season, there shouldn't have been any bad snaps. Sack on the first drive. Clean it up. Looked like more of last season to me. Hey. The first bad snap of Parker Brailsford, I don't know if y'all saw Parker. Parker was mad at himself. So he'll have that corrected. Period. He'll have that corrected. Now, Rock Montgomery, as a guy that's being played in two different roles, as an offensive guard and as a center, Crimson Tide is going to work more so with him on what they want to have him securely play, whether it's center or as an offensive guard. But I think this team against South Florida, they clean it up this week. They clean it up, and they take a big step forward here. Let's see. Monica Petway writes in, what's up, Bama Nation? Happy to see you here, Monica. Monica also says hey to me. Hey, Monica. Happy to have you in here on the show. Let's see here. More of your thoughts here. You guys are writing in big time. Damon Davis writes in, since Saban's ceremony is on Saturday to ink his name on the field, let him say a few words to the team if DeBoer would let him. I think Coach DeBoer may let Saban say a few words to the team. I think Coach DeBoer may let him do that. Mike G writes in, Caleb Downs had 2 tackles last week. He may have actually hurt his NFL first-round chance. Yeah, we got a Caleb Downs update from Mike G. So apparently Caleb Downs, former Alabama safety, had 2 tackles last week in his season opener for Ohio State. There we go. Coach Womack, Don Parker writes in, Coach Womack should have jumped on the entire team. There is no excuse for not doing the little things at a high level, especially if you want. So I think he did, Don. I think at practice he jumped on those guys. You saw in the press conference Monday he mentioned Bama did not play to the standard. So I'm willing to bet in practice he jumped all over those guys, and he got those guys right out there on the field during practice. Jeremy Matthews writes in, y'all seen Scott Cochran made a visit to Alabama? Yeah. Scott Cochran made a visit here. Got a chance to be with his old family, his old Alabama football family. So did get a chance to see Scott Cochran make that appearance in Tuscaloosa. Sweet home Bama 24 writes in, getting me some keychains. Gotta get your hands on those keychains, man. All things Alumni Hall. Getting yourself there, those keychains. All of you guys Right in. If you want Don Parker, if you want to be champions, you got to do the little things right there. Kyle Berry, Stephen A., my man, I appreciate you, Kyle, helping us out here on the show. Monica Pellery writes in, Stephen, a question I asked Cishi and Dan, who do you think is the dark horse on the team? That's a good question. The dark horse on the team, you know what? I'm going to go Cole Adams. I think Cole Adams is the dark horse on this team. Cole can do a lot of things. He can return kicks. He can return punts. We saw him last week. If Cole Adams would have gotten one crease, he was gone on a punt return. He was gone. With the shouts out to Montgomery from Don Parker, absolutely. Shouts out to the guys right there. When you look at Quay Russo and James Smith, then we got right here my guy, Bama Bravo 12. Just got my tickets for the Wisconsin versus Bama game. So excited to see the Tide roll. He's already ready to see Bama, Wisconsin. Let's do this. We got From Davis, my man From writes in, Stephen M. Skyline flex and love it. Hey, Stephen M. Skyline here, baby. We got it. Got the Skyline right here, right here. We are ready to go. We got here, Damon Davis writes in, Stephen Milroe has to polish his throwing. He should be getting better and better if he wants to stop going up. If we had a Tua-like quarterback, this offense would be unstoppable. Milroe made a lot of improvements in the spring and in summer workouts and in fall camp. He is a much better passer. He's a much better passer. Now, am I saying he's on Tua's level? No, but he's a much better passer. And, last week, of course, you had 9 attempts, but Alabama was just trying to win the game. And if you can only pop open 5% of your playbook and you're still able to win a football game, 63-0 with 600 yards offensively, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. PJ Steins writes in, O-line is not an issue. DeBoer is running a lot of stretch and misdirection. Saban's linemen are man-to-man maulers. They will get better as they watch film and understand what to look for on the move. PJ Styles makes an excellent point. King and DeBoer's guys are more so stretch, misdirection, pull around, counter blocking, right? It's not a hat on a hat, a man on a man, and just maul people down. That was Nick Saban. King and DeBoer's is a lot different. You're pulling around, you're throwing counter blocks, you're throwing kick out counters, you are doing misdirection, you're doing a lot of stretch plays. So it's different between Coach Saban and King and DeBoer. I absolutely agree with that. Appreciate all of you guys writing in, giving us your thoughts here on the show. This is fantastic. Here we go. We got my guy, Trey Townsend writes in, ready to see Cole Adams break one on punt return. Look, Cole Adams is getting you back to that excitement that we saw with the Javier Arenas, the Tyron Pro throws, the Christian Jones, the Cyrus Jones, the Eddie Jacksons, the Jalen Waddles. Like, Cole Adams is getting you back to that level of excitement. Doesn't call for a fair catch. He wants to take that ball and just house it. And like I mentioned, if he would have just gotten a crease against Western Kentucky, that boy could have scored on any of his 5 punt returns. Jeffrey Beans writes in, good to see Ty Simpson back in rotation after that move last year. Hey, look, Simpson back in the rotation, had a rushing touchdown last week. For Ty, the big thing for Ty is just continuing to, when he gets out there, being able to set his feet, throw the football with confidence, throwing the football accurately. He had some moments last week where he had to knock a good bit of that rust off, and it takes that the first game. You're not going to be perfect your first game there. But I like where Ty's headed here for this season, going to South Florida. Malaysia Mayo writes in that thumbs up. She's giving me that. Going back to the comment I made on James Smith and Quay Russo, the guys from Montgomery doing their thing there. Here we go. We got Nicholas Gardner, who writes in, Who do you think is our best D lineman, Steven? Best D lineman? I would say the best one. I go Tim Keenan, the best one, Tim Keenan. The most talented one that could really get off, LT Overton. But the best one, Tim Keenan. I go that right there. That's how I would say that right there. Let's see. Monica Petaway writes in, I noticed some improvements from Milroe as well. He did improve. He went through his progression. He looked at every receiver. He looked at every read. He didn't just throw some out there. We are seeing improvement, guys, from Milroe. Jalen Milroe did improve. Damon Davis writes in, Steven, what are you looking for in game 2? Well, I mentioned the keys to victory. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the offense and defense to get off to a fast start. I'm looking for Alabama to establish that run game. I'm looking for Jalen Milroe to have a huge day at the passing the football. I'm looking for Nick Sheridan to get more of these offensive weapons involved. I'm looking for no bad snaps, less penalties. I'm looking for that swarm defense creating more negative plays there. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at here for this upcoming game. But appreciate all of you guys writing in. Terry writes in, Red Morgan played well, also my hometown boy. So Red Morgan from Phoenix City, Alabama, played at Central High School. Red Morgan did have a good game. Absolutely. Let's see. Don Parker writes in, regardless of it being zone blocking or man blocking, you must execute. Blocking is fundamental to the game. Center quarterback exchange is fundamental. They had all spring and summer. No excuse. Hey, Don wants perfection. Don is an Alabama fan that wants perfection, that wants it done right, and you can't get mad for Don wanting that. Can't get mad for Don wanting to see his team, his program, the team he pulls for, excel at the absolute highest level at everything it does out there on the field. And if you're not having that type of passion as an Alabama fan, then you got to wonder, like, how involved with the team are you involved with the team? So there's that. Damon Davis writes in, I know college allows different players to wear different numbers, but I hate to see defensive linemen wearing number 10. That would be Jaheim Otis wearing number 10 there, Damon. And I know we're used to seeing the tradition, defensive linemen wearing bigger numbers, but defensive linemen, they want to have swag too now. Big D linemen want to have swag too. So the big D linemen want to have swag too. They will get number 10. They will have that swag in there. From writes in, Wolfpack on the hunt Saturday night at Bryant-Denny Stadium. You will definitely see that Wolfpack there on the hunt Saturday night inside Bryant-Denny Stadium as they dedicate the field here to Nick Saban. But kind of my last thoughts here when you look at this. When you look at this show here, and one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing is Keon Keeley and Keanu Coote. We didn't see them much against Western Kentucky. Both of these two are South Florida guys. Keon Keeley, especially from Tampa, Florida. Want to see those two on the field. Definitely want to see both of those two on the field because Keanu Coote was number 2 behind Q-Rob on the initial depth chart last week at that Wolfbacker position when I saw it. Now, Quay Russo got the start, and no offense to Quay earned that. But definitely want to see more reps from Keanu Coote, and definitely want to see reps from Keon Keeley, especially after he came in a big, massive 5-star from Tampa, Florida, a guy that could play in that bandit field side defensive end role or as a wolf linebacker there. Let's see. Terry writes in, I also think Elijah Pritchett settled down too. I watched him play a lot, also staying right across the river from Columbus where he went to Carver. Now, Elijah settled in some. Still some things I want to see more from him, but he settled in some. I do agree with that. He settled in some. Yes, he gave up a sack of Jalen Milroe, and people are like, no, you don't give up a sack. You don't do that. He did settle in some after that sack was given up. Now, he is the immediate guy to start at that left tackle position against South Florida, but that's only if offensive line coach Chris Kapovich and Kalen DeBoer, they look at this and go, would Bama be better suited having Tyler Booker at left tackle and Geno Vandermark at left guard? But hey, we shall see. Damon Davis writes in, Steven, do you think if Ryan Grubb had stayed that this offense would look a little different? Just asking your thoughts here. I mean, maybe, but you got to understand, Nick Sheridan was on the offense too last year at Washington. So I think whether you had Grubb, whether you not had Grubb, it was going to look the way it's looking right now. I mean, it wasn't going to be much of a difference, Damon. It wasn't going to be much of a difference. Whether you have Grubb, whether you have Nick Sheridan, it wasn't going to be much of a difference. Monica Petaway writes in, I'm still visualizing Jihad Campbell wearing number 30. It's going to take me a minute to get used to. I mean, the players changing numbers, Bama Nation, I know that got to y'all a little bit. Because when you become used to seeing a Bama player in a certain number, you equate the player to that number. So when they change numbers on you guys, it's like, what the world going on? He was wearing number 2 last year. How he got 50? What the world going on? So I know it throws you off. It throws you off because at times it threw me off. You know, seeing Jaheim Otis wear number 10, he's been wearing 91 this whole time, threw me off. Seeing Jamarian Latham wear number 20 after he was 93 for a whole time threw me off. Seeing Deontay Lawson go to 0 after wearing 32 the whole time threw me off. So I understand. I understand. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are moments where, you know, we equate the number with a player, and when we don't see that player wearing that number or they've changed that number, it really throws you off there. Plow Jogger writes in, Plow, college football games, and hey, Plow, hey, Plow, hey, that's a good one, Plow. College football games, hey, that's even when they're lopsided. That's a good one, Plow. Hey, Plow, that's comedy. That is comedy, Plow, at its finest. That is comedy right there. But appreciate all of you guys writing in, giving us your thoughts on the show. Like I mentioned, to kind of wrap things up here, the big keys to victory for me in this game. Number one, getting off to a fast start for Alabama's offense and Alabama's defense against South Florida. Number two, being able to establish that run game after seeing what the backs were able to do against Western Kentucky, especially when Alabama really got it going. Want to see more of the run game this week. Number three, Jalen Milroe, huge marquee moment for him in the passing game. After not playing last year in this matchup, he's got a chance to go out there, put up some big numbers here at Bryant-Denny. Number four, want to see Nick Sheridan and this coaching staff offensively get more playmakers involved in the flow of the offense. Number five, less penalties, no bad snaps. You can't have the bad snaps. But number six here, that swarm defense, get into the football, swarm into the football, making a lot of plays there. But I appreciate all of you guys checking us out here on this evening on a Wednesday, giving you your Bama football news, notes, information here, and coverage on your Crimson Tide. And you guys are continuing to write in. So thank you guys for the love there. Thank you guys for the support there. Bama takes on South Florida Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Time kickoff from Bryant-Denny. You're going to have the Saban Field dedication. Supposed to be a lot of people out there. Saban Field dedication. So that is going to be a lot of fun on the field. Let's see here. Final thoughts. We got Malicia Mayo right in. I think they're going to need that bull ball defense go get that ball or sack the quarterback. They're going to need that. And Quay Russaw, James Smith, big part of that. Also, Q Robinson, a part of that. Jihad Campbell, Deontay Lawson, LT Overton, Jamarian Latham, all these guys are a part of that. See ball, get ball, attack whoever's got the ball, create takeaways. That'll be a huge thing there for Alabama. Let's see here. More of your thoughts here. All right. We go back to Mattress Mac. Do you think you'll be in studio regular? All right. So, Matt, I'll be back there Friday. We got the game preview Friday. So because we got the game preview Friday, I'll be back in studio Friday. You got the game preview plus in my own words, Matt. So I will be back in there on Friday because you got double duty there on my end. We got here, Terry. Thank you, Stephen. Love your show, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that, Terry. Let's see here. Damon Davis writes in, shut out twice would be so nice on Saban Field. Hey, you can shut out South Florida. That would be dynamite. In the words of my man JJ off Good Times. Wait a minute. Dynamite! There we go. I think that would be good. You can get 2 shutouts there. Back-to-back shutouts there. Let's see. We got my man Mike G. Hold on, Mike G. We got Mike G. 48-18. He's got Bama over South Florida, 48-18. PJ Stives writes in, great show tonight. Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Damon Davis writes in, Stephen, what channel is the game going to be on? I have DirecTV, and they're going through negotiations. My channel is off, even the SEC network. So I think it's going to be Damon on ESPN. Going to be on ESPN at 6 p.m. Central Saturday. ESPN, 6 Central, Damon. That's the game time. Monica Petaway, I enjoyed the content tonight and chatting with you all. Good night, Roll Tide, and Lank. There we go. I appreciate you, Monica Petaway, for checking in with us tonight. Christian Hughes, great show. I'll be tuning in Friday for the show, RTR. Yes, tune in Friday for the show, but also the game preview prior to the show. We got the game preview there for you. Don Parker, writing in ESPN, 7 p.m. for everybody on the East Coast, 6 p.m. those of us Central Time Zone. Let's see. Sam writes in, Stephen, what's your score for the game against South Florida? Well, Sam, I've got 45-3 Bama. 45-3 Bama over South Florida. That's the score there. Yeah, Warrior writing in, Bama 63, nothing, Todd Rowe. Coach, always enjoy the show. I'll be at the game. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Damon writes in, Steve, my ESPN is off because Disney owns the rights, so he's upset there. He is upset there. Yeah, you're going to have to find that game, Damon. You're going to have to find that game. Damon, get YouTube TV. You may have to pay for it, but Damon, get YouTube TV. If you get YouTube TV, you can stream it. Get YouTube TV. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Let's see here. Kyle Berry writes in, thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you, Kyle. Henry Huboff writes in, I'll be attending the game on Saturday. Will you be attending the game as well, Stephen? I will be here. Henry, hey, come find me. I'll be there. I'll be at the Walk of Champions. I'll be on the quad. So if you see me, come find me. Come find me. Don Parker writes in, Stephen M., yesterday was the 3rd of September. We know you know what that was if you're a Temptations fan. Hey, right. But you also know, Don, that first day of September, I was singing that Earth, Wind, and Fire. September, just the night away. No, I'm not going to do that. But I'll do that little Earth, Wind, and Fire impersonation, first day of September. But I get your point right there. Let's see here. My man Henry Huboff with that $5 donation, dropping the love in there. Appreciate that from you, Henry. Let's see. Mr. B _205. YouTube TV has a special right now, 21-day free trial. Hey, get on that, Damon Davis. YouTube TV, 21-day free trial. Get on that. Sam, thanks for the content, brother. Great show. Appreciate all of you guys helping us out here on the network. Let's see. Mike G, what did Bama show you last week, Stephen? It showed me, hey, talent's there, pieces are there, tools are there, the potential's there. The big thing, though, you clean some stuff up. Got to clean some stuff up. My man Don Parker with that $5 donation saying support TDA. You know what time it is. Appreciate you, Don Parker, helping us out right there. Christian Hughes writes in, Stephen M., will you be going live through the crowd on Saturday like last year? I will be doing that, yeah. Couldn't do it last week because of the rain. If the weather holds up, Christian, I will be going live to the crowd like I did last year. So I will definitely be doing that. But, folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, material on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Once again, folks, I will be in studio Friday for the game preview, and in my own words, check us out there Friday. We'll be back in studio. Continue to subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. Subscribe right there. Get that subscription. We got all of your Crimson Tide coverage right there. Hop to that over there. You will not be disappointed. Got to shout out all of you, the Bama fans, for checking us out this evening. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support from everybody. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. We'll be back on Friday. You've been listening. In my own words.